Hello, history lovers. Welcome back to Storytime with the Shiny One, where the past comes to life, one shiny story at a time. Today, we're taking a journey through one of the most powerful and painful chapters in American history, Reconstruction. The period after the Civil War when the United States tried to rebuild, reunite, and redefine what freedom really meant. But this story isn't just about laws or presidents. It's about people. Newly freed African Americans searching for opportunity. White Southerners facing a world they didn't recognize. And the rise of a secret group determined to turn back the clock. The Ku Klux Klan. So sit back, clear your mind, and imagine the sights and sounds of the South in 1866. The Civil War is over. The fighting has stopped, but the country is far from healed. Imagine walking down a dusty road in Mississippi or South Carolina. Fields that once grew cotton lie empty. Burned buildings mark where battles raged. Millions of people, both black and white, are starting over. For formerly enslaved people, it's a time of hope. Families long separated by slavery are reunited. Churches and schools are being built with help of groups like the Freedmen's Bureau, which provides food, land, and education. Freedmen and women are voting for the first time. They're attending conventions, starting businesses, and running for political office. For many, this is a first real taste of freedom, and it's very powerful. But for some white Southerners, these changes feel threatening. Before the Civil War, white landowners controlled everything, the farms, the money, and the laws. But now, things are different. African Americans are winning elections. In states like South Carolina and Louisiana, black legislators help write new state constitutions. Even in Washington, D.C., things are changing. Men like Hiram Revels and Blanche K. Bruce, both African American, are elected to the United States Senate. These changes inspire hope for some and fear for others. In 1866, in Pulaski, Tennessee, a group of white men, many of them former Confederate soldiers, formed a secret society. At first, they claim it's a social club, but soon it becomes something far, far darker. They call themselves the Ku Klux Klan, taking the Greek word kiklos, meaning circle, and adding their own twist. They dress in white robes and tall hoods, saying the costumes make them look like ghosts of dead Confederate soldiers. But in reality, their goal isn't to haunt the dead, it's to terrorize the living. The Klan begins targeting African Americans who vote, own land, or hold office. They also attack white Southerners who support Reconstruction, people they call scalawags, and the Northerners who come to the South to help rebuild, known as carpetbaggers. Night after night, riders appear on horseback, torches in hand, masks over their faces. They burn homes. They whip men in the streets and destroy schools built for freedmen. Their message is simple and cruel. Stay in your place. But here's what the Klan didn't expect. Resistance. Even under threat, many African Americans refused to give up their rights. Freedmen's schools stayed open. Teachers taught by candlelight after their classrooms were burned. Churches became meeting places where communities could plan and protect one another. In one South Carolina town, a black farmer named Elias Hill, who was disabled, organized freedmen to vote. The Klan attacked him, beat him, and demanded he stop encouraging others. But Elias Hill refused to be silenced. He testified in court, helping expose Klan violence to the world. Across the South, black citizens, Union soldiers, and government agents fought to protect the rights promised by the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments ending slavery, guaranteeing citizenship, and protecting the right to vote. Freedom was no longer a dream, it was law. But enforcing it? That was another battle altogether. When news of Klan violence reached Washington, President Ulysses S. Grant knew something had to be done. Between 1870 and 1871, Congress passed 3 important laws known as the Enforcement Acts. These laws made it a federal crime to use threats, force, or violence to stop someone from voting. Grant sent federal troops and U.S. Marshals into the South to arrest hundreds of Klan members. For a while, it worked. The Klan's power weakened, and black citizens voted in record numbers in the early 1870s. But the victory didn't last. When federal troops withdrew from the South in 1877, marking the official end to Reconstruction, white supremacist groups returned under new names and with new methods. Violence, poll taxes, literacy tests, and Jim Crow laws replaced hoods and torches as tools of oppression. The Klan's actions left deep scars on the South. Families lived in fear. Communities were divided. And the promise of Reconstruction, equality for all, slipped away. But here's the light in this dark story. The courage of those who stood up against hate didn't disappear. It grew stronger. The teachers who refused to leave, the soldiers who defended the vote, the families who built schools, churches, and communities despite it all. Their bravery helped lay the foundation for future generations, from the NAACP to the civil rights movement of the 50s and 60s. The story of the KKK and racial violence during Reconstruction isn't just a history lesson. It's a warning. It reminds us that freedom can't survive on paper alone. It has to live in our actions, our voices, and our willingness to stand up for what's right, even when it's hard. When we see hate, silence helps the oppressor. But courage, the kind shown by Elias Hill, by teachers, and by voters who refuse to be scared, that's what keeps democracy alive. So, the next time you hear the word Reconstruction, don't just think about rebuilding buildings and rewriting laws. Think about rebuilding people's lives. Think about the fight for justice that started then and continues even now. Because as long as people believe in equality, the light will always outshine the shadows. This has been Storytime with the Shiny One. I'm Mr. J, reminding you to keep your minds curious, your hearts open, and your heads shining bright.